Hi, this is part 9 of our tomato grow along, and today we're just going to look at topping the plants and then also picking our first ripe tomatoes on our larger varieties as well. So when we spoke last time, we talked about if you have the space, you can take some of the slack off your tomatoes and continue to grow them up if you're able to. If you're not, then you will need to take the top off of the plant just to stop them continuing to grow upwards and to concentrate on actually ripening the fruit as well. And we also spoke briefly about making sure that the tomatoes are at around a halfway mark of ripening to remove them from the plant a little bit earlier and allow the plant to have enough energy to continue ripening the other fruits on the vine. So I'll show you at what stage I actually do this. If you want to wait until they are completely vine ripened, then that is something that you can do as well. I find this is safer from the mice getting in and eating them, or any other issues with them splitting and things like that as well. I'm also impatient and want to pick them as soon as I can. So any tomatoes that fall off the plant that are still completely green can still be taken inside and continued until they're ripe as well. As long as they're shiny and they're not still matte, they have a chance of ripening and usually do quite quickly. So if any do fall off, don't discard them, take them in and see how they do. And then all I do with these once they are inside the house is I put them into a little wicker basket, and then they stay in the windowsill to continue to ripen there. When they are completely ripe, I tend to put these ones, because they're for sourcing, into the freezer. The only thing you need to do with this is to remove the stem, so the green part at the top, and then they can come straight out for using for sauce without having to defrost them and things as well if you want to. But we'll go into that a little bit more later on when I've got enough and we can look at preserving them. If, however, these are the tomatoes that you're going to keep for eating, then you can usually just leave them in the windowsill and they'll last quite a while in there. You can put them in the fridge, but usually tomatoes are better kept out because they are a fruit. If you want to delay them getting overripe, then putting them in there and then taking them back out to warm up a little bit will help to have them that bit sweeter and that bit nicer when you're ready to eat them as well. You can see this plant here has completely reached the top of the polytunnel and is starting to bend over. Now I have got enough string on this one to actually let the string loose a little bit and give it a little bit more room to grow. So I'm going to put you back on the stand and then show you how I'm going to do that. Now I still have them quite congested, and ideally to do this, what you would want is enough space between each of the plants to let them cascade and not cause any issues to the plant next door. So I won't be doing this as much as you can do. You can do this to the point that the part of the stems are actually on the floor. But for me today, I'm just going to be doing them a little bit and see how they go. So I've got them tied up in a way that I should just pull and release. And then all we're going to do, I'm actually going to take that off and just wrap that around a little bit more, a little bit higher, because that'll be easier to do now. And then at the top of the plant, once it's down a little bit, I'm just going to retie that string. So this hasn't gone down a huge amount, but it will give it a little bit more space. And if you have a lot more room between the plants, then you'll have a lot more freedom to do this than I would. And it's just now a little bit more slack as it goes down. It's sort of leaning over more to the side now. It was much more upright. And then at the top of this plant, what I'm going to do now is remove the side shoots first of all that are coming out the top, and then find the top of the plant, which is here, and just take the top off to stop that continuing to grow. Another side shoot in here. What I will find with this is I'm going to have a lot more side shoots now that the plant is going to put out. All plants' ideas of continuing to grow like this is to have fruit that's going to produce seeds and then going to continue on the production of that plant. So by topping it, it's going to continue putting out more side shoots like it wouldn't before. So it's really going to put a lot of energy into that. But do you keep removing them as you see them? You can see there's another side shoot hiding behind here as well. I'm just going to remove that one and just keep an eye on the plant from there. I will be removing some more leaves as well from the plant today, but right now we're just looking at topping. We have spoken about removing leaves before, but we can start making space now for the tomatoes to actually have some sunlight on them if the plants are high enough. So if you're happy that yours are big enough, then that might be something that you want to consider doing. So for this one here, I'm going to do exactly the same as what I've done previously. I'm going to loosen some of the tension up on the string and then remove the very top of the plant as well. Make sure you support the plant well as you do this, because they are likely to be quite heavy at this point and try to disappear on you. Under that flower stem there. And then just reattach that onto the top. There we go. That one's going to cascade a little bit out, but that'll be fine as long as it doesn't get knocked now. And then I'm going to take, first of all, the side shoots that are coming off of. And then the growth tip. Again, I'm going to leave on the very top flowers here. Take the top off. And then for this one here, it's trying to go sideways at the moment. I don't have any more length on this string. So for this one, I am literally just going to take the top off. I'll bring you around the other side so you can see the top though. So the top of this one has gone past the support bar on the polytunnel and is right the way over here. So I'm going to take it back down to these flowers. I'm taking quite a bit off of the top here. And that will give me the chance to just straighten this one up a little bit as well. I'm just going to untangle some of these leaves that have got the wrong side of there as well. Just gently pull them through. And there's a side shoot there and another one up there as well. Oh, that's quite a big one actually. There we go, we'll take them off and then bring that one back round. But we're not going to loosen that string at all. It is just too tight at the moment. And then I'm also going to continue to move any leaves like we did before from the end of any flower stems. And then hiding down here we have some ripe tomatoes. So you can see them right at the bottom. I'm just going to break these ones off. So this is what the tomatoes look like. So that is simply the blossom of the end. This one's a little bit more ripe. And then this one is at the point that I would normally pick them at. So the other ones are a little bit more ripe. So it's probably maybe 50% ripe at this point. Still got a few areas where it's a little bit green. But as we've said before, these are going to continue actually ripening from the inside out now. So they'll be absolutely fine, popped in the kitchen windowsill and ripened like that. You can also do this with the cherry tomatoes, but you can leave those a little bit longer. I probably pick my cherry tomatoes more at sort of this stage. That's just going to stop them hopefully splitting when there's any additional water and causing any issues like that as well.